welcome to Shelly's Craft Cottage. I'm Michelle, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Aiken, South Carolina. And I'm coming to you with Mystery Card Monday number 19. I'm hoping for a couple people tonight. Hoping for more. I know pretty much a couple people are going to be coming. Hi, Nancy. She's always here. She's a good girl. Good friend. Very good supporter. Elizabeth said she would be here tonight. Nancy said, Lena said she would try. And I didn't hear from the others, so I don't know. So tonight is a very simple thank you, Nancy. Today's a very simple fun fold card. And I've done them before. I don't know if I ever did one on live. That's what I was hesitating about when I decided what I was going to do. So, let's get started. I'm going to review the materials I asked you to have prepared for tonight. If you're here, just let me know you're here. You needed to cut a base that was 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. DSP, which is really known as designer series paper. We cut it short to say DSP. We want that to coordinate with this card base. And one piece has to be 2 1/2 by 4, and the other one is 2 7/8 by 4. Then you need some white or very vanilla cardstock, and these are going to be cut. This one is going to be cut 2 3/8 by 4, and then you needed a circle or a square that's about 3 inches around. Okay, hi Elizabeth, she's here too. Good. Then choose some images that will be able to fit on that 3-inch circle or square. Some scrap white or very vanilla cardstock for your sentiment and your images that you're going to be cutting out, fussy cutting or die cutting. Adhesive, liquid adhesive, and dimensionals. Stamp sets or set for sentiment in your greetings. And coordinating inks and embellishments. Okay, so tonight I'm using the new Country Flowers, which will be available in the catalog when it releases on May 1st. And then I'm using a sentiment from another one that's going to be, I'm using Love You. That's going to be, Seaside Wishes is going to be available May 1st as well. Okay, so those are the two sets I'm using. Okay, so let's get started. Clue number 1, fold and burnish your card base. So remember you made 2 scores, and one score is our standard score, right in the middle, and the other score is half of that one. Okay, so when you fold those back and prepare them, make sure that you align everything so it's nice and straight. Okay, so burnish these edges. And when we burnish, what we're doing is we're breaking the fibers that are in the paper so that we're telling it we want it to go this way. So that's the reason why we burnish them. Now this card could go this way. It's what we call a Z fold. And it can go this way, but they wouldn't be able to stand it up if it went this way. I was going to do it that way, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to stand up. Okay, so that's your first step. Using liquid glue, center your 2 1/2 by 4 inch. Now remember, they were just slightly different, okay? So this is the 2 1/2 inch one, and I cut it so we get about a 1/4 inch border on all sides. Okay, so you're going to glue this one here. And as you know, I like to do it this way. I like to pick it up once I've got it centered. That way I don't have to worry about rushing if the glue is not is setting too quickly, and I won't be able to get it moved quick enough. This way I've already got it centered where I want it. Okay, so here's the first one on the top flap. Okay, that is the end of clue number 1. Clue number 2 says, take that 2 7/8 piece of DSP and glue that on the right side of the card. Okay, so we're gonna center this over on this side. I love this new paper. It's called Country Wood. I think it's so pretty. They've got so many different kinds of wood, and it's very pretty. Okay, so I'm going to center that. Anybody else is here, say hello. Okay. And then I'll do this side. I can see it this week. A lot of times it is buffering, so I don't get to see what's going on. It buffered for a minute, now it's back. Okay, so see how that kind of matches up. Okay, that's the end of clue number 2. Clue number 3 says, center and adhere the 2 3/8 by 4-inch white or very vanilla. And this is my 2 3/8, yep. Okay, so that should just about abut it. You might have to go over the edge of that paper just a hair, but I wanted it to, I wanted to make sure that there wasn't a big gap in it. Okay, so you're going to adhere this one now. Now I probably should have told you that if you're going to put a message on here, you could do it before you glue it, but I didn't. I am going to make this a Mother's Day card when it's done, because I need some cards for my shop. Okay, so this is how the card works, and this piece was made small enough so that as you can see, you won't be able to see that white showing off the edge. That's why I cut it that size. I know the measurements, some people are like, oh, those measurements, those eighths, but it makes it so that it's not shown when your card is closed. Okay, that was the purpose of that. So then it says, set this aside. Okay, that's the end of clue number 3. Clue number 4 says, stamp your images on your white scrap. In my case, I'm using some wood, and color and fussy cut or die cut them. So I am going to, I'm doing the stool like I did last time, and that's going to be right onto the wood. Last time I die cut it, then tried to stamp it. It didn't work quite as good. Okay. So I'm going to use this bucket and these flowers. And one more thing, I think. Oh yeah, the little message that's going to go inside the bucket. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my images, and you do the same thing. So the flowers, excuse me, the flowers, the milking bucket, and the words are all going to be in black. So tap, 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 and then go. Made my stamp. You want to do that as soon as you can so that they don't get crusted with paint, with ink. Okay, now I'm going to do my flowers. And this is just going to give me the outline so I can color inside. Okay, I like to check it to make sure I've got enough ink. And I'm going to stamp it down here. Here we go. Clean off my stamp. And then this is the words that say flower market. So I want that to be nice and straight. So I'm going to find a line and put the stamp right on the line and then pick it up. And then I know it's going to be pretty straight. So I'm going to stamp that on right now. And put that right here. Good. Very good. Putting my stamp. Okay. Now I'm going to use the brown. I'm using crumb cake to stamp my stool. I know I took it out. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Might need a bigger block for this one. To be sagging off the edge, so okay. Yeah, I want to turn it this way because I want the wood to be going in that direction. Okay. So did everyone have a nice weekend? We did. We went down to Florida again and picked up our new RV. Well, new to us. Hi, Lena. You made it. Woohoo! Great. So we picked up our new RV. So we spent, even after we came home, we spent a lot of time figuring out what we need to buy and all that other good stuff. Okay, I'm going to start with this milking bucket. And again, you know how I do mine. I do little circles because I want to get highlights. So I'm going to do this. And then when I go over it, the white parts are going to get the color for the first time, and the gray parts are going to get color for a second time. So then you get, I think I'm going to need a new one here. I'm going to run out here real soon. Uh-oh, hope I make it through this. So as I was saying, doing little circles allows you to have some white spots, so when you go back over it, you get light and dark spots. And so I'm using a light, what is this one? Light basic black to do that piece there. Now I'm going to go back over it, and I think I'm going to use the brush end of it just because I think the other side is And now this is when you're going to want to do some shadow. I can't do it with this tip. It's not good with that. This is where you want to do some shadows. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to bring it all in. Now see how you get the shadows? You get the lights and the darks. So here I'm going to do a shadow on this side. Oops, don't go out. Okay, now I'm just going to start a little bug here. Now I'm just going to start doing circles again, so I get that high-low. I think I need to go on my Stampin' Up page and order some new grays. This is just going to make it, I think. I hope. So you should be coloring your pieces right now as well. Yeah, this is just about out. Add some more dark on this side. Okay. Do we meet for Club Wednesday? No, Lena, this is that extra week because you guys are the first and third, right? So this is that odd week in a month that we won't be meeting. You can come hang out if you want to, though. Okay, so I want a little bit of rust on this. I think I did that on my last one. Yes, I did because Elizabeth asked what my marker was, and Nancy was nice enough to explain it to her. It's a color lifter. So now I'm going to lift some of that color because I don't want it that dark, but I want it to still have some brown in there. So I'm lifting some of that color to give it that rust look. Okay, then I'm going to go back over it with a little bit of brown again while it's still wet from it's still wet from the color lifter. That takes a minute or two to dry. Now I'm just going to go back over it just a little bit to give it some. See how that looks? Gotta be careful too because it'll run off the edge there a little bit. So, okay, so I got a little rust in there. Now I'm going to do my leaves. Oh, you know what? I did a different flower than my original card. You'll be able to see the difference. That's okay. It will work. So I'm going to put the lighter green on first on the leaves. Then I'm going to go back with my darker green. Get all of them. No, another one here. Yeah, aren't those, they're like magic. You're right, Lena. They're like, especially if you got carried away with colors, which I have done a couple times. And then I was like, oh, that's a little bit more than I wanted. So you can go and lift it right back off again. That's the cool thing about these things. So I'm just putting green at the bottom of my leaves, the darker green. And now I'm going to go back over it again And you're going to be able to see the difference. Especially once it dries, you'll be able to see. Okay, so I decided, my original one was pink, but I decided I wanted to do my flowers blue tonight, although I was going to do a different flower. But that's okay. I've seen some blue roses before. So I'm going to do, and this blue is Pool Party, which is the color that's in here. That's why I did it. And I just didn't want to do pink flowers again. I'm getting kind of tired of flowers. They're beautiful, but I just wanted something different. So these are going to be blue roses. So I'm going to color the whole thing haphazardly. And I'm going to take my darker blue and do my centers. And I'm just going to do some edges here and there. Where I think there might be a shadow or so, you know, like in that little spot, definitely going to have a shadow in there. Maybe the lead gave that one a shadow. Okay. I was just thinking that that sounded like that, who's that guy that used to do the coloring, the painting there? He passed away. His son is now doing it. Can't think of him. There's a whole training of his stuff. I know somebody who's learned to paint like him. Now that's kind of cool. And that's all I'm going to do on that one. I can't think of his name. So now I got to cut these three things out. This is my jug. This is my stool. And I hope I took out the right flowers. Yep, I did. Okay, I'm going to get my little handy dandy machine. Ross. Bob Ross. Is that his name, Bob Ross? Yeah, what I was saying, those little words just made me think of him. Okay, so I'm going to take this off because it says that we're going to color and fussy cut out our images. So I'm going to put that aside for now so I have room to put my machine here. I'm going to take the top one off. Let's see if I can get all three of them on here. Okay. Oh, I hate that. Get it on and it wiggles on you. Elizabeth, you doing okay? Oh yeah, Lena, the 1st is Wednesday? Uh-oh. That's book club too, right? I'm not done the book. You're right, Lena. Okay, so that's the first one. And I'm not going to be able to get all three on here. So I'm just going to put two. Okay, so let me put this on. Book Club 2. Do you want to postpone? You have been very busy. Yeah, I have been pretty busy. And I was, in my head, I was thinking we had another week. So I wasn't ready. I'm not ready. Okay, I got to turn this way because I'm right-handed. Nothing is breaking. That's just the noise the machine likes to make when those dies cut through. That's why our bottom plate gets so messy. So that's why you got to try to keep your bottom plate on the bottom, because it ends up getting quite messy. Switching them around makes a mess of all of them. Okay, so there's my stool. Put that aside. Here's my vase. And that, I didn't go all the way up because the flowers are going to cover that. Okay, now let's do the flower. Yeah, Lena, I read the other book, Firefly Lane, because the girls said that I would understand the book better if I read that one first, so I did. And I've started the second one, or the one we picked, but I've been so busy that I didn't get the other one done as quick as I thought I would, and didn't get as much done of this one than I thought I would. So, but that's okay. Won't be the first one that does that. Okay, let's go through now with this one. I read Firefly Lane. Isn't that good? Oh my God, that was a good book. Yes, that's the one I finished last week. And now we're reading the next one, Fly Away. Is that what it is, Lena? I liked Firefly Lane. Nancy, did you like it? Okay, so there's my 3 pieces I needed to cut. Now, clue number 5 says, audition your image on the 3-inch circle or square, whichever you did. Because I picked some things that are fairly large, so I have to audition and see where it's gonna, how it's gonna fit. And if it's gonna fit on my card, that's the biggest thing. I like the book much more than oh, you saw the TV show? I didn't get to see that. Okay, so I'm not gonna have a problem with putting this on. Yeah, I might have a little problem. That's why I like to audition first, just in case. So I'm just gonna bring my milking can down a little bit. Yeah. There's different flowers than I used on the other one. So you know what I'm just going to do? I'm just going to go around the edge here, and nobody will know that that top piece is missing. See? Nobody will even know. So now I know it will fit. Okay, so it says audition your pieces on a 3-inch circle and then attach the images to the 3-inch circle using dimensionals. So I know this is about where I need it. So I'm going to take this piece out first, and I'm going to put that one on dimensionals. Now this one I know I can use the big dimensionals because it's kind of chunky. Okay. So I'm going to try to center it too, try to make sure you're pretty much in the center and that your dimensionals are not going off, which mine did. I don't know, just a hair. I'll fix that. I'll show you a trick to do that. Oh, we might tell on you? Oh, about me cutting that off? Okay, thanks, Lida. Okay, I'm going to put dimensionals on this. I'm going to say to people, look at the top. You notice that she cut a piece off? So because you're going to be putting this on here, you don't want these to be too far down, which I got to move them. And the same with not having them too far up, because you're going to have the flowers. So you want to keep, see how I did that? I moved it up enough so I can put it on here and it won't add any additional bulk to the height. Okay, so I'm going to put that here. And I'm not putting, like I said, some at the very top because I'm going to be overlapped. Actually, I should put one. I'm going to put one here. And then I won't put one at the very bottom of that one so that it won't add any height. Okay. Let's try that again. And of course, make sure you're straight. There. Okay. Now this one's going to go here. And I'm not putting any dimensionals at the bottom. I'll just put them just in this area. So I think I'll use the small ones. Decide which way I'm going with this. Okay, so behind that rose, and here. And now I don't have it showing above. Now this one here, when you do embossing, you have you could try to take it apart, but we have this dust thing that has powder in it when we do embossing. So what I do, instead of trying to take it apart, I'm going to dust this until there's no sticky left on it, and you just feel it. Okay, that way I don't have to try to there, now it's not sticking at all. All right, so that's a little sneaky way to fix an embellishment, I mean a dimensional, if you put it too far down. Okay. Oops. Okay, put that back. Okay, so it says add images as desired on your 3-inch circle or square, whatever you're using dimensionals. That's the end of 5. So it's a quick one tonight, like I said. Stamp your sentiment and die or fussy cut it out for the front. Now, mine is a very small one. Remember I told you I was going to use Love You? Love You. So I'm going to pull that one out of this set. Elizabeth, you doing okay? Thank you, Lena. You like that? I love this new stamp set. This one too is got words, so I'm going to use a line to make sure I'm as straight as I can be. Except it's sticking on my finger here. Or you can use your platform if you want to make sure it's straight. You're okay? Good. I'm good, Elizabeth. I'm glad you're all set. If anybody thinks I'm going too fast, just let me know. Okay, so I'm going to put Love You in here. And the good part about doing it on a circle is you can just turn the circle a little bit if you're crooked. Yeah. Okay. Need my stamp. So I haven't tried this. I haven't done anything with this stamp set yet. I can't wait to. It's a beautiful stamp set. It's got hybrid embossing folder. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so there's my sentiment. Okay, so stamp the sentiment, cut it out. Okay, now we're ready to add dimensionals to the back and add this to our card. So I envisioned this card to have the overhang like that. And look at that, it fits perfect. Oh my God, glad I cut that piece off. So you want to hang this over the edge. So you don't want to put dimensionals past where your fold is, because then you're going to stick your card together. So I am going to eyeball, I don't want to go past that little bloom way at the top, And I don't want to go too much past this inner leg on this bench. Okay, so I am going to put my dimensionals there, and that's my bloom up there, so I'm going to stay right about there. So in my case, I'm going to do 3 on this side. That's where the fold is. Then I'm going to do 2 on the outer edge. Everybody with me? Lena, Nancy? Okay. So now you fold your card up and reposition it again, making sure you've got everything fitting on the card. And then just double check that you didn't go over, and I didn't. And then press it down. And you've got a little bit of dimension. See how that blue looks so pretty with that blue? I love it. I love it with the blue. I'm a little crooked though. My little pot is a little crooked. My little milking can. Okay, so that's the end of number 6. Number 7 is, oh, I didn't attach my, so I decided I'm going to put it over here. Originally I was going to put it here, but I thought this crowded it too much, so I'm putting it over here. And I'll show you my sample one that I made. And I actually did it in a different color, and that's why this time I decided to do this color instead. Okay, so I'm gonna close it so I can see. And I'm just gonna put it here. Okay. It's a whole new look. Wait till you see the other one I did. Now number 7, that's the end of 6. Number 7 says embellish as desired. Now, I had thought about putting a ribbon on it at first, but then I was like, this is supposed to be kind of rustic. So I decided to use this twine, and I kind of made like 3 circles. And then I took it off my fingers, cut my other piece, and then just made a knot with these 2 ends, which can be tricky because you can unravel it. Okay, so you get your ribbons ready, or whatever else you're putting on yours, while I do this little bow, this little knot. Those 2 ends. And where is it? Yeah. Giving me a hard time. Of course. Okay. There we go. So I got myself a little series of circles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little glue dot behind it. And it's a pretty small bunch of, so I'm going to take my glue dot, you probably can't see this, and I'm going to kind of curl it up like a burrito. Heard somebody say that once, and I was like, that's a good example. And then I'm going to put it right over here. And then put my little lasso looking thing. Cut it a little shorter. Yeah. Kind of keeps it looking rustic. That's what I wanted to do. And then I'm going to use the blue. Which one's did I decided this blue would look good with it. So I'm going to put one blue one up here. think I'm going to put 2 over here. Put that in a little more. Hold on. Don't get too tight here. Here. There. A little bit crooked. Not too bad though. Isn't that cute? Simple. Very simple fun fold. And I think that's all I was doing. Yep, that's all I did. So that's it. Put your embellishments where you'd like them. And then you can stamp something in here, or you can just write a message. And like I said, I'm going to do mine Happy Mother's Day. So I need Mother's Day cards at my store. That is it. So, we are finished. Now you've made another fun fold card, and take a picture of it and post it on the post that lists the materials, that material list at the very beginning. This list that's on the Facebook page, and under comments. And I want to show you the other one I made. Now this one had more pink in it when I cut the paper, so that's why I ended up deciding to do the pink. And I obviously used different flowers. I grabbed the wrong ones tonight, but that's okay. I think this looks really good. Got a little bug here. And then I used the pink dots instead of the blue dots. But that's pretty much it. They're the same, but only different colors. Okay? So, I thank you again for joining me for this mystery card event number 19. I hope to see you next time on May 6th at 7 o'clock, which, yeah, I was going to say that's quilt night. Thank you very much, Elizabeth and Elena. Thank you. And thank you to Nancy. So next week's not quilt, because it's not, next week will be the first Monday of the month, so I'll be here next week. Okay? So post your cards, and thank you everybody for coming, and I can't wait to see your cards. So post them, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.